Hi, I'm George the Weather Dad. We're just over a week away from Thanksgiving, so I thought I would focus a little bit more on Thanksgiving travel weather starting this upcoming weekend. Friday, the big story for the weather over the next week or so will be the temperatures, the dropping temperatures. You can see here on Friday, most of the country are going to be about normal or slightly below normal. That would put temperature highs in the Ohio Valley in the lower 50s. It's going to be fairly warm for points to the south, the lower third. You're going to see high temperatures in the 70s and 80s for you there. But the rest of us, well, we're going to be kind of chilly there on Friday. Notice what happens here on Saturday. This area blue and green expands towards the southeast, even down towards the Gulf Coast. You're going to see temperatures highs maybe only in the 60s there by Saturday. Sunday, certainly along the Gulf Coast, and even look at Florida starting to cool off a little bit. But the rest of us here, we're going to be seeing high temperatures potentially in the upper 40s and in the 30s as you head up further up towards the Great Lakes region, which is going to produce some snow, it looks like, at this point in time. Precipitation wise, the cold air is being brought down by this cold front, very active here on Friday, from the lower Mississippi Valley into the Tennessee, Ohio valleys and up towards up in Canada. Notice along the mid-Atlantic region, a nice little spin in the atmosphere. It's going to be a subtropical system. It's going to work its way up into New England. So Friday, Saturday for you is going to be very wet, very windy, but by Sunday you're going to dry out, but you're also going to get quite a bit colder. And then here on a Saturday, that moves out. Florida, you still see kind of a bit on the wet side at that point. And on Sunday, most of us stay dry with the exception of another bit of energy there in the upper Rockies. And that's going to give us some problems for next week. This is going to be potentially a problem on Tuesday. I'll show you that here in a minute. First, temperatures. This is Monday now of Thanksgiving week. The big story again, most of us will be below normal for high temperatures as well as low temperatures. Here on Tuesday, colder air starts heading out of central Canada again down towards the southeast. You're looking at temperatures along the Gulf Coast, highs right around 70 to upper 60s with the exception of the peninsula of Florida where you'll be at least in the 70s, maybe even see a few 80s. By Wednesday, though, everyone cools off, especially along the Gulf Coast here in the Midwest, looking for high temperatures only in the high 40s, the way it looks right now. And Thanksgiving Day, again, most of us are going to be below normal as far as temperatures are concerned. Precipitation. On Monday, this is where the action really starts cranking up. This is here in the Mississippi Valley. You see strong thunderstorms in the lower Mississippi Valley and even snow up in the upper portions of the Mississippi Valley. Points east will be fairly dry. Now, as far as Tuesday is concerned, this thing really gets cranked up. A lot of moisture here, potentially some severe weather, heavy rainfall, certainly along the southeast. I think this is going to be snow for those of you up in the Wolverine State and even points up towards the northeast. Another system approaching the Pacific Northwest. And then by Wednesday, most of it dries out with the exception of Florida and the Northeast. The Northeast, you will have some travel problems around Boston, New York, Washington even, but that system will be heading out. So by Thanksgiving Day, travel conditions will be improving. Now, for Thanksgiving Day itself, we have snow up in the upper Rockies, but notice here we're seeing lake effect snows there on Thanksgiving Day. And that's also going to be on your Wednesday as you're heading into Wednesday night and on Thanksgiving Day itself. So if you're heading across northern Indiana and northern Ohio, that's something to keep an eye on. So overall, it's not going to be that bad of a travel forecast, but it will be cold. So make sure you pack your winter coats and sweaters for Thanksgiving. I'll be back later on in the week with another update. Until then, I'm George, the Weather Dad.